from the Museum District Midtown area.
Hello.
Today's show, we're going to be talking about the do's and the don'ts for new real estate agents. So if that's you, you definitely want to tune into this show. We're going to be very authentic and we're going to be transparent because each one of us that you see here, we did not start where we currently are in our business. So that is what we're going to give you today, transparency and our authentic selves. We don't have enough time in our 30-minute window to cover everything that you should and shouldn't do. But what we do cover is going to make a huge difference in your business if you decide to take these things and execute on them. Before we get into the meat of the show, we're going to start off with our red hot topic, and we'll let the lovely Miss Kimberly Dixon Dudley lead us into that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, the red hot topic is what everybody's talking about. I don't care what side of the political aisle you fall on. Everybody has an opinion about this topic today. And it looks like our Democratic nominee for the presidential seat has selected Senator Kamala Harris.
Yes.
As his vice presidential pick. And it's no secret that I am thrilled and excited. And I'm ahead and pull the lever, stamp the button, cast and it's my personal opinion, right? I'm voting my values.
That's it.
So, you know, it can be contentious. And I think, you know what? I'm glad that people are engaged enough to have an opinion. I'm glad that it either if you don't like her, you do like her, or you don't like Trump, or you do like him, at least people are engaged enough to have an opinion.
Right.
So I don't know if y'all saw a post on my Facebook page. I'm just going to share real quick. I'm not going to share the post, but there was some dialogue there that was interesting. I mean, yes. I welcome people sharing their reason for their vote, and so that way we know what everybody's thinking, not just the people who we hang around and our families and our inner circles are thinking. So that's important, right? But I do think that I have a big issue with two things that are going on with Kamala. The one thing is people minimizing her ethnicity. Mm-hmm. You know, if she's Black, Asian, Indian, whatever her ethnicity is, it's her ethnicity and it's mm-hmm. hers to own. Mm-hmm. So I do take people saying she's not Black enough. She's not. When that Black woman walks into the Senate chamber, mm-hmm. she's a Black female from California. She's the senator, the Black woman from California. So that's my opinion, and I'm not going to mince my words about that. Other people may say something different. And if she wants to say that I am a Oakland resident, a Howard University graduate, an Alpha Kappa Alpha sorority member, she mm-hmm. can say those things because that's a part of who she is. But if she mm-hmm. wants to talk about her Indian heritage, she can do that too. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. People are so weird in the things they want to make important about this issue. That's not the issue. That's not the issue.
My stance on it is whether Kamala was who I wanted to, Biden to select, that doesn't matter. That's who he selected. And so for me, it's important for us to just get behind that. If you're voting that ticket, it is important for us to get behind that. And I mean, now is not the time for you to say she did this, she did that. It's not the time. The Black woman is it's the largest category for the Democratic vote. And so if we seem like we're divided in this, then it's going to show up at the polls. And that's not what I want to happen. I don't want that to happen. So every Black woman should get behind this lady, whether you are on this side or on this side. It is what it is. This is who we selected. Let's roll with it.
I'm going to say one other thing too. So aside from voting for her because I think she's a brilliant human being, right? I think if people are able to get the information for themselves, instead of going to Facebook or Instagram mm-hmm. or social media platforms, go and find out what this person's legislative record has been. There are plenty of fact-based websites where you can find out if that person's views, values, and voting history aligns with your family's voting history. I'm going to give you two. I'm going to share two just so we can give people some facts to walk away with, okay? So votesmart.org will give you a candidate and elected officials complete history of how they voted on situations related to policing, criminal justice, education, climate control, healthcare, foreign relations, economy. So you're not getting snippets of someone's opinion on their Facebook page. The other one is here, in Texas, Texas Tribune. You guys may already know about this. We talked about this in TRLP, which we'll talk about later. Texas Tribune is a publication based here in Texas, obviously, but you can type in your address and find out who's on your ballot, who that person is, what they've done in their seat prior to your casting your vote. So if there's one takeaway from this, one or two, I'm glad that people are caring enough to engage. Two, get the facts for yourself. My mother used to say this all the time. Baby, you can know the Bible, you can go to church, but you got to know the word for yourself. Get the facts for yourself. And then make a decision for your family based upon the facts and your family's values. So
that's right.
My opinion on that. Tana, you have anything?
You know what? Some things, I'm just going to say this. I don't really like to talk too much about who I'm voting for, on social media. I don't really get heavily into that, but I agree with you, Kim. People should do their own due diligence and research and find out, learn more about, this woman and, Kamala Harris. Do your own due diligence. Don't go based off what other people are saying. Don't jump on that bandwagon. So.
Absolutely. Guys, I think that we live in America, land of the free and home of the brave. I think that we're a little too free sometimes, though. I think that with a lot of the comments and things that I've seen, I think that people have kind of, whether she's your pick, whether she's not your pick, I think that people have gotten way too disrespectful. And I think it's very easy to hide behind a computer screen.
Thumb bully.
And say, some of the things that are said. And so I certainly hope that while people are getting the facts about who they want to vote for, I certainly hope that people would definitely go and find out what the voting that our senator has done, what her record has been. I certainly hope that people would do that for themselves, because a lot of things that people are putting out there are, one, in my opinion, way too nasty, and just not, some of it is not even factual. So I would definitely say get the facts for yourself.
And Mala, one other thing is, I want to say this too. Give her a chance. Don't be so quick to shoot her down, to beat her up. Let's, just give her a chance. I mean, heck, we've given other people chances that are in the White House that probably shouldn't have been, should not be.
Well, now.
That's a word, Tana Young.
No, that's a good point, Marla. I think, like you said, people got too free with disrespect. So when our leadership is not respectful, I think people feel like they don't have to be respectful either. So
not at all.
Yeah, that's a slippery slope we're on right now. And I think it's time for us to pull that back in and remember who we are as Americans, and find some self-respect in our engagement with one another in person and online.
Exactly.
Yeah, about that.
Yep. Okay, well, let's go ahead and move on.
Well, shoot, today, last week, for those who caught the show, we had an amazing show talking about, because we have people all the time that want to hear about real estate. Everybody is fascinated with real estate. Everybody wants to know about real estate. So, last week's show, we were bringing it to you, bringing some facts to you, and we want to continue the same today on this show. So what we want to talk about today is, one, kind of the do's and don'ts for new licensees. So you wanted to get a real estate license, you dreamed about it, hoped about it, prayed about it, all of that. Now you have your license. What is it that you're going to do with it? I want to just be very transparent because as a broker, I see a lot of times people come into the business and they, believe they're going to make a lot of money in this business. But we want to really tell you the truth about real estate. And you can make a lot of money in real estate, but are you going to do it? And if you are going to do it, I want to talk to you about how you're going to do it. So, I just, ladies, I see people all the time come in and they really don't want to put in the work. I'm just being honest. They just don't want to put in the work. So
you're saying they lazy. So you're saying that they're lazy.
They lack motivation.
They lack motivation.
I believe though too that it's kind of a sense of there's not a whole lot of work to be done. And that's absolutely false. Real estate is a very, very hard job, and it's a very intricate job. It's a very detailed job. So, once a person is licensed, we just want to help them today, right? With what they can do. So one of the things that I thought of was creating a pipeline. That's one of the very first things you need to do is create a pipeline. And so I thought about this, I said, well, when I, tell them about a pipeline, what is a pipeline? And this is Marla's definition of a pipeline. A pipeline is what you are working on now that will manifest into revenue later. That pipeline, that's everything. That's you putting in hard work today to maybe, for that to turn into something else for you tomorrow. So starting out with that pipeline, that's the main thing that you want to do. How do I get a pipeline, Marla? Well, you get a pipeline by one, coming up with a game plan. We talked earlier about you having your, last week, about you having your business plan. Part of that business plan is going to be your game plan in how you are going to get clients. I see all the time, ladies, people come into the business and they're ready for the business. They're excited. What is my broker going to give me? Well, if you have a broker,
want something.
If you have a broker that gives you leads, great, that's wonderful. But it's still your business, and you have to work your business. You have to do it yourself. So what I think is this, creating that pipeline, where do you get the pipeline from? Because you're going to create a database. You're going to start from the very beginning with a database. Where is the information from this database coming from? It's coming from people that you already know. You know people in your life already that need to buy, sell, get investment property, all kinds of things. That's where your database is going to come from. So you're going to work your database. The next thing you're going to do is think about your sphere of influence. Everybody, we all watch all these different shows. Every agent is a millionaire, right? And so you come into the business thinking, hey, I'm about to be a millionaire. I'm about to, like we used to say in the 90s, I'm about to blow up. And you can. But how is it that you're going to be a millionaire and you're not going where millionaires go? You don't know.
Not doing what millionaires.
That's a good one.
Exactly.
You don't have a routine like a millionaire. You don't have the discipline.
Man, I'm telling you, you have to put in the work. I'm telling you, your sphere of influence. Who are you around? What are you doing with the people that are around you? You want to do this, and then your sphere of influence that you already have. Don't discount anybody. When I say, you want to be a millionaire, but you're not hanging around millionaires, doesn't mean that the person doesn't know a millionaire. What I'm saying is everybody, you're going to treat everybody as a customer. You're going to treat them as somebody that can help you with your business. The last thing I'm going to say is that you take that sphere of influence that you already have, and you teach your sphere of influence what it is that you do, how you do what you do, and teach them what type of clients you're looking for. That's where your clientele is going to come from. That's where your money is in that database. Would you say, Lisa?
This is the first thing they should do. Create a database so you know where you're fishing from. Where you gonna get your business from?
And here's the deal. What I need for them to know is, if you don't have any money after you've paid all of this money that we spoke of last week to get your license, if you don't have any money to go and pay for one of these contact management systems, i.e. database, store, get you some pen to paper.
Excel.
Write those names down, or Excel.
Yeah. You better yet, go on Google and search for,
So
you can go on Google and search for.
You're gonna talk about this later, or HAR. You can go into HAR realtors. We're gonna let you know you can go to HAR and type in all the people you've contacted, their phone numbers, their emails, and it's all in one cloud-based database that you currently pay for right now. It may not be what you use 3 to 5 years from there, but at least you're able to capture those people right at the beginning.
Right. And the reason why I said that is because 19 years ago, when I got into the business, that was an excuse I gave. So, I can't afford to pay for a top producer. I haven't made a sale, all of these excuses. And excuses are tools of incompetence that build monuments out of nothingness. Those who use them to use excuses.
You're gonna write that down, Kim?
Yeah. So, please don't be that person. I was that person. I constantly gave excuses until I made a decision in my mind to put the work in. Okay? Got to put the work in, which kind of leads us, once you have done what Marla has told us to do, then you want to make sure that that's a good foundation, what Marla has given us. That's your foundation. We all know nothing is going to withstand the storm and last long term if the foundation is not solid. So what Marla just gave you, that is your foundation. Now you're ready to build structure on that foundation. Okay? You're ready to start with the framework. So the next Kim and Tana and myself, we're going to give you the framework so that you can build that house. But trust and believe, if you do the framework without the foundation, it's going to crumble. Okay? So
good point, Lisa.
What I want to talk to you guys about is, what kind of profile you want in real estate? Are you wanting a profile that is going to be able to catapult you to the next level? That's going to allow you to be able to garner new clients? You want to put yourself in the best position possible. So I'm going to give you some techniques that you can use to strengthen your presence. And the first thing that I recommend is, once you get that license, you need to become a part of the association that we mentioned last week. Once you become a part of that association, you will have full access to that multiple listing service, the MLS. If buyers and sellers know that you have access to the largest database there is of homes, then they're going to want to work with you. Number 2, customize your car. If you have the funds for that, customize your car. Get you like a little magnet sign that has your name on it, and your website. Yes.
Lisa, I have lost so many of those magnets.
Me too. And
they're great because people do see you and they're like, oh, I'm gonna call that number. It's a moving billboard.
Right.
Well, you know what? Sometimes it's a moving billboard, but I've had the magnet signs on there that I've lost, blown in the wind. I've had the whole back of my car wrapped.
Oh, that was good.
But I'm gonna tell you something. I removed it
Why?
because I was getting too many little crazy people calling me, texting me, sending me the weirdest pictures. So for me,
So
for me, I didn't. Yeah,
that didn't work for you. And here's the deal: I
No.
got both sides of it. I got people that were actually interested in looking for a house, and I got people that were interested in me. And my husband told me to get rid of it. And so, but I know agents where it works like a charm for them. Yes. Number 3, get a unique look. You know, you have some agents, they have like a little fancy hat. They have a saying, you know, have something unique about yourself.
Brand yourself.
Correct. And because when people see it, they're going to always be reminded that this is you. They could be passing and they see a billboard. They may not even see anything on the billboard, but if they see that hat, or if they see that saying, that slogan, they're going to know it's you. Number 4, pay attention to your website and your blog. You have to make sure that, and here's the deal. If you can't afford a website initially, HAR has a really good website for you to take advantage of. And so direct people to that. The more you direct people to that, the more traffic that's going to come to it, in hopes that there will be some leads that will generate from that. The next thing on my list is you need to guide your buyers as well as your sellers. They're coming to you for your market knowledge. So you need to have checklists on your website. If you can do that, have a checklist or something that they can know the step-by-step process. And you need to have frequently asked questions. That will eliminate them from calling you every time they have a question. If they can
testimonials.
Refer back to that list, and that's the next thing on my list, Tana, the testimonials. Those work like a charm. When they can see other people have
worked with you
and have enjoyed their experience, that's second to none. So those are just some things that you can do to strengthen your presence, because as a new agent, that's what you need to do. You need to strengthen your presence, because when you start off, you have none, not in the real estate world.
But you know what though, this ties into my portion or segment of this show, which is brushing up on your communication skills, right? I will honestly be transparent and say, when I first started out, I didn't want to tell people, oh, I'm a realtor, or, you know, and so you have to be able to communicate that and communicate it and give the message that you're intending to give. So Lisa, to your point a few minutes ago, creating your public persona, your public profile, your image. For some people, sexy real estate sells. And I'm not knocking that if that's your public persona. But if you really want to be, if your idea is, hey, I want to be a professional, serious, legitimate real estate professional, then in your mind, do those things on your website, in your text messages, in your email signature box, to communicate that that's who you are, right? So the other thing that I think I want to share with everybody that's listening, we all of the hosts on this show are honored alumni of the Texas Realtors Leadership Program.
Yes.
Yeah.
Let me just say, I'm outnumbered.
What?
But 2010, class of 2010,
nope,
greatest.
Nope.
Get her, Tanner.
2013. Okay. 2013 in the house.
That's it.
Thebomb.com. The best of the best.
That part.
These leaders.
So you guys, the Texas Realtors Leadership Program is an organization that's offered through the Texas Association of Realtors, where we are it's a program that educates licensed realtors. Not just if you're getting your license, you will have had to have your license, and it shows them how to work after you've gotten licensed. So it's one thing to get your license, but then what do I do with this license afterwards, right? So the Texas Realtors Leadership Program is an 8-part segment, like what was it, about a year, 8 to 10 months that we spent?
It was like 8 months.
Yeah. So every month we meet
Yeah.
and we covered sections of real life realty that helps to propel your business in a forward way. So I'm just going to share real quick what this year's modules are, just a few of them, so people get an idea of what to expect. And it's an honor to be selected. So we were honored to be selected. I think everybody on this show can speak to the fact that it helps build some function of their business in a very,
because they don't just accept anyone. You have to have your reference letters in, and you have to put the work in.
And you got to be able to commit the time. That's exactly what I was saying. So 8 to 10 months, you got to be able to commit the time. So this next upcoming session, the first module is your role as a leader. The second module is the business of association. So people don't even know what the HAR association is. They don't know what the NARBA association is. They don't know the role of associations and what the power of those means. So that's good to know. But the third module is decision making. Yeah, you got your license, but how do you make decisions in your business that help grow your business, right? And y'all, this next one was the most important to me. This was the next module was Spokesperson Training. And in Spokesperson Training, they actually video you, your team, and all the participants need to get to critique your video, and you grow through the constructive critiques. Because if no one says, hey, Kim, stop talking with your hands, you're going to keep talking with your hands and it's going to be distracting, right? But
saying
or saying
I think that was me when we actually did our when I did mine. I was like, oh my God, how many times did I say I was like
and then there are two others, but the very last one was law, legislature, and the Texas Realtor. So a lot of people have no idea how important their role is as a realtor in navigating the economy for the state. And so to get the chance to go to Austin, because we all took a bus and we rode to Austin and we talked to our legislators, we got a chance to ask questions, knowing how integral your role is as a realtor professional in this state is so important, because then you look at it more than just, I'm gonna get my license and do this on the side.
That was my favorite. Taking that trip, the diversity class, and that particular trip, that was my favorite, because at that moment, it's bigger than you.
That part.
Oh yeah.
That part, right?
I'm not just doing this for me. I am doing this for every single human being that has a desire to be a homeowner.
That's good, Lisa. That's exactly right. So the other opportunity I want to share with our viewing audience where they can beef up their communication skills or build on their communication skills is Toastmasters. I've not been a part of Toastmasters. I've known people who participated in the organization. Marla, I think you can speak to this. Did you?
I did.
Excellent. So I'm going to tell everybody what it is, and maybe you can share what your experience was in that.
Okay.
So Toastmasters is an international nonprofit educational organization that specifically teaches public speaking and leadership skills. So if you know that that's your weakness and you could build on your public speaking skills, this is an opportunity that's separate from your realtor association, separate from real estate. You get a chance to engage with other business professionals and build on that public speaking skill set. So Marla, what was and let me say this, there are 16,800 clubs in 143 countries. So there should be a Toastmasters organization near you. All you got to do, Google Toastmasters, find the location nearest to you, and then seek out that particular organization. But Marla, what was your experience? I'm curious.
It was a great experience. And I want to say that pipeline that I talked about earlier, y'all better get to Toastmasters. You meet new people. And in my club, I happened to meet some very interesting people. And so the experience was a very good experience. You get a chance to come up with different speeches. You learn different techniques to use when giving speeches. And actually, I was very surprised at some of the people that were there. I was very surprised at some of the people that I met that were going through Toastmasters, because these people were actually very good speakers, in my opinion. Some of them, most of them had to give speeches and had to talk in front of, you know, whatever profession they were in, that their job required that. And so in order for them to feel how they wanted to feel comfortable speaking in front of people, was most of the reasons that I got from people that did it. And it was actually one of the reasons why I chose to start it. And it was very good for me. Very good. I love it. But Kim, I wanted to ask you, you said that when you first became a realtor, you did not want to tell anybody. Why? Why was that?
Well, I didn't think that I didn't think I knew enough.
There you go.
Got it.
That's a lot of us too.
Yeah.
And here's
Yeah, a
the
lot
deal.
of agents feel that way.
Yeah, you can't be a secret agent. So Kim, Lisa, and I'm sure Marla, and I'm sure Tana, at some point we were called secret agents. And so you don't want to be a secret agent, because being a secret agent, you're sure not to make any money. And so you will become very discouraged with real estate, and you will become a part of that number that states that after being in the industry for 2 to 5 years, you no longer want to do it anymore. So don't do that. And so if you feel afraid, if you feel like nobody is gonna, hire you to do the job, I'm gonna be honest with you. You're thinking too much about other people's opinions, okay? And so you being a realtor, other people's opinions do not matter. You have to get in there, as Marla said, and do the work. And when you do the work, your confidence level shoots way up. Okay.
Definitely does.
And you don't want to be that person that the friend invites you to a housewarming party, or the friend, sends out a big announcement via text message sending pictures of their new home, and you're an agent. You don't want to be that person. Okay. So what do? You send out announcements. You send out an announcement to your sphere of influence. That's who Marla mentioned in the beginning. You send out an announcement letting people know, hey, I am a realtor. You let them know what company you're with. You let them know that you're eager to meet with them and to be of service to them. Because now every home buyer and seller, that's your employer, because they're hiring you when you decide, when they decide to work with you, that's your employer. So you have to constantly stay in their face in order to not be a secret agent. And I'm going to tell you, for many years, I was a secret agent. I went to an event at my church, and it was for business owners and different things like that. And when I got there, I was like, oh my God, do I really want to say I'm a realtor? And I didn't. When they asked to stand up, who's a business owner, what do? I did not stand up. I was afraid, because you know why? I had not done what Marla said do, and that's put the work in. Now, this was early on in my career, but I hadn't put the work in. So I didn't feel like the market knowledge and any of that was where it needed to be. And
we mentioned this last time. Remember, we talked about, even if your knowledge is not there, align yourself with an accountability partner. Align yourself with
that's important. Yes.
What you've done, so you can learn through their experience. And then if you have questions about something, Lisa, you said this earlier, offline. If you don't know, it's okay to say, hey, I don't know how to answer to that question, but I'll find out. And the one thing, if you've already taken that test and you've passed that test, you have a level of competency and information that the general public does not have. So I want to encourage people to be confident in that. You know the information. Now it's about application. Like you said, Lisa, handing out your cards, speaking at family events, telling people what you do. If nobody knows what you do, they can't even give you the honor of asking you to help them.
Right.
And
So-
you can't be mad.
Right.
And you can't
And
be
you
mad.
can't be mad.
You can't be mad when they buy a house and they didn't buy it with you because
That's it.
you was a secret agent. Another thing that, agents should not be afraid of is technology.
Yes.
Don't be afraid of
Tana.
technology, especially in this day and age, because the majority of things that we do is on our devices.
Mhm.
We spend, I don't know about you guys, but I spend a lot of time, even when I'm sitting on my sofa, I may have the TV on, but then I'm up there on one of my apps. Maybe it's Instagram, maybe it's RIPL, and I'm working on putting pieces together, putting posts together so I can post it to my social media. I'm going to give you guys some of the apps that I think is very important to have on your phone if you are a realtor. So of course, HAR.
Mhm.
That is a really good app to have on there because you can be having coffee with your friends, you can be out with family, and that one time you'll get that phone call saying, "Hey, Tana, there's this house that I saw. Can you go ahead and look up the information? Thank you, Lisa." And so you want to be able to quickly get on your phone and put that address in and get the information for that property, and even be able to schedule a tour so you can get the ball rolling with your client. Another app that I like is IGTV. You can make your videos and go ahead and upload it onto IGTV, and voila, you're done. Video is in my opinion, video was really, really good. It's another important thing to have because people's attention spans they're not there anymore.
Mhm.
And so people will be more prone to watch you on video than to read anything. So if you can put a video together, even as a new agent, an introductory video. Hey, my name is Tana Young, and I just want you guys to know that I'm a realtor here in the Woodlands, Texas, and I'm eager to help you with the sale or purchase of your home, blah, 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 whatever it is that you want to say. Video Shop is another one, and that's for editing your videos. There's MoShow, and that's to create a video slideshow. PicMonkey is a really powerful photo editor. That's a good one. RoboKiller, love that app because it stops the spam calls. I get so many of those, so that's another good one to have.
And so what do you do, Tana, with RoboKiller? You just put it on your phone, and does it stop the calls once you have the app on your phone?
Yes, so it's going to stop those calls.
Girl, I'm going to do that ASAP.
So yes, you need to put that RoboKiller on there. Dotloop, DocuSign, Zip Forms. These are some of the apps that I have on my phone right now. And it makes it so easy when I'm out and about and I don't want to have my laptop with me because, again, you can do all of this from your phone. And you know what? There's a lot more apps. I'm not going to go into all of them, but I will make sure that we put these on Facebook. Zoom, I just have to say that. Zoom, and also Super E-Key and CamScan. That's a good one. You can take a picture of the document, scan it from your phone, and send it to wherever it needs to be sent. One other thing that I want to discuss is texting or calling. Which one should you do? Lisa, we had a conversation the other day. Some agents can do a whole transaction via text. And I know that is not for all agents, but I will say this. When you have your client, you should be, asking certain questions. Hey, how do you like to communicate? Do you like to email? Do you like to text? Do you prefer phone calls? And also do that with with the agent as well. And for me, it works because sometimes I don't want to talk to anyone. I prefer to text. I'm just saying.
It's generational too. So some older folks may get offended,
right?
Pick up the phone and
yes.
call. Whereas the younger
generation, it's part of their culture. They want to text. That's all they want to do. Say, hey, I'm rolling with the younger people. I will text you in a hot beat. And that's it.
I'm in the middle. I need to have a phone conversation. That phone conversation allows me to see if it's even chemistry in this relationship, because there has to be chemistry when you work with someone. That phone call allows me to see that. I can't detect that in a text. I'm not that smooth. I can't do it.
And you do have to be careful with text messaging, you know, because sometimes it can be misconstrued and things can be taken out of context. And so you have to be really effective in your text messaging. You have to really know how to not insult someone. Like, for instance, if you text someone in all caps, to me, that means you're yelling at me. Why are you yelling at me? If you put a gazillion exclamation marks, is that even necessary?
My text gets stuck and I don't feel like going back through and deleting that text message. So I'm gonna send you an all caps message, and I hope you get the message.
but before,
and I'll say, I'm not yelling at you, but I'm in all caps.
But let me say this.
So you have to be careful with that, though, because some people are gonna say, "Oh, she's yelling at me."
Let me say this: if there's some communication that has been communicated over the phone that needs to be in writing, once you get off that phone, new agents, you send an email recapping the conversation, recapping the text message, so that it can be in black and white. Because if anything goes on with that transaction, you need to be able to go back and support what you said.
Well, you can do that in text messaging too.
You can, right?
You can
but I'm saying,
screenshot.
if you are on the phone, you can't do that. So if you've communicated some important information over the phone, which is my preferred method, then we need to go back and send an email, a follow-up email stating everything that was communicated on that phone call.
Right. So speaking of recap, I want to recap the show before we close out, so that we make sure we hit all the points that our guests, our viewers are interested in and getting, and that we point them in the right direction if they're looking for some specific information. So we talked about creating a pipeline. We talked about protecting your public image on social media, or however you get your name and your brand out there. We talked about brushing up on your communication skills, and gave some specific options and opportunities through TRLP and Toastmasters. And then we talked about not being a secret agent, making sure that if you are communicating who you are and what you do, then you do that to everyone in your sphere that you think you can do business with. And Tana, to your point, this last one is so important to me, because technology is scary, but it's a part of who we are and what we do as realtor professionals. So don't be afraid of technology. Tana's gonna post those apps on the Facebook page when we wrap up. But before we wrap, I want to share one thing with you guys. Tomorrow is our drive-in movie night at the Vantage Point at Sunnyside. Yeah. My company is hosting a drive-in movie night tomorrow, August 15th, Saturday at 8:30 p.m. The food trucks will arrive at 7 o'clock. We're going to open up the gates early, and we have a special treat for Sunnyside residents who live in Blue Ridge Section 1. So if you live in Blue Ridge Section 1 in Sunnyside, your entrance to the drive-in movie night is free. It's free. Wow. Yes.
Now, Kimberly, can you tell us what movie will be shown?
Black Panther will be shown on a 30-foot screen starting at 8:30 p.m. So grab your snacks and your beverages and make sure you're in your car and ready for the movie to start.
Good deal.
Thank you. And then also, before we go, I want to let people know that we do have another show coming up next week, and this one is for the viewers. This is for our viewers. This show, we want you guys to engage with us, ask us questions on our Facebook, on our Instagram. We're going to post our email addresses on Facebook as well. So if you have a question for a specific host or a question for the crew in general, send it to us. We'll read it on the air, and we'll answer that question during next Friday's show. So that's all we have for today. Check us out on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you podcast. We want to thank you all for joining us, and we hope you have a safe and wonderful weekend.
Thanks, guys.
Bye. Bye.